Welcome into Sports Map Houston. I'm Vanessa, and we're glad to be back on YouTube after our hiatus. And Paul, we're especially glad to be talking Astros baseball after that win against the Blue Jays. The name on the lips of so many Astros fans, of course, Jeremy Peña. But it's not just local fans and media that are talking about him. The peak of the hyperbole came from national MLB writer Jared Carrabis, who tweeted, and I quote, "Jeremy Peña is better than Carlos Correa, I'm afraid." So, Paul, here's my question to you. Are you buying or selling Peña being better than Carlos Correa?
I really want to buy it.
Way too soon, I think.
But we have to be realistic here.
Right.
Carlos Correa is off to a rough start in Minnesota, and Jeremy Peña has been off to a hell of a start for the Astros. Not just in the field where we knew he was going to be pretty good, where he's making web gems and he's getting up and he's got like the Shooter McGavin subtle gun that he's pulling out after he guns people down at first base, but also at the plate. You saw the walk-off home run that he obviously had on Sunday. I'm not going to say he's better than Carlos Correa. That's crazy to do. But early on in his career, he has shown that he's not afraid of the big moment. When you get a big hit like this, a walk-off home run against a good Blue Jays team, you've got to be feeling super confident going forward. And who knows how long this start lasts, but I am impressed by what we have seen from Jeremy Peña thus far. I did not expect him to be able to deliver like this quickly.
I agree. I loved the confidence. I love the swagger. The scouting report on Jeremy Peña was always that he was going to be a defense-first shortstop. But if you remember, Jose Altuve told Ken Rosenthal at the beginning of the season, he actually saw Peña developing into a player who could hit 280 with 20 homers and a 900 OPS. So if you could lock that Altuve prediction about Jeremy Peña in now, would you take that, or do you think the ceiling could be even higher?
Well, it's hard to say that there's a clear limit on somebody like Peña when he has just come up. For me, it's just looking at your ex, Carlos Correa. It's going to be hard for anyone to match up with that. It's not just Correa delivering in big-time moments and being a part of the Astros' resurgence when he first arrived on the scene in 2015. It's also, this is the same guy that we once saw talking to a camera, basically calling out Cody Bellinger and everybody else who was dumping on the Astros for the sign-stealing scandal. It's going to take a lot of time for us to forget about Carlos, obviously. Peña, though, if that's what you're getting out of Peña, look, you're not paying much for Carlos Peña. You would have had to pay, for Jeremy Peña.
Sure.
You're going to be paying a ton for Carlos Correa to keep him around for just 1 year, which is likely what would have happened had he decided to stick around with Houston. Like, best case scenario, he signs a 1-year extension. Next year, we're having the same conversation. Should they let him go? Instead, now you have a guy who you're barely paying who looks pretty capable, and all things considered, with some of the struggles the Astros have had at the plate thus far. Who would have thought that Jeremy Peña would maybe be one of their most consistent players to this point?
I just don't think that you even need to compare the two that much. Obviously, they're going to be compared because Carlos Correa was so loved in this city. I understand that. But let Jeremy Peña be Jeremy Peña. Let him have the rookie, the highs, and the lows. And we think, of course, there are always going to be lows. In baseball, there are slumps. So my next question for you, Paul, how much does the fast start hurt him, or how much does it help him when he gets to that first eventual slump? Do you think this helps with the confidence, or does this kind of set the bar at almost an unrealistic level?
I mean, maybe for us, expectations, it sets things at an unrealistic level. But I think for him, it's great because if he does go through a period of time where he struggles at the plate, he will always have the fact that he was able to do pretty well when he first came up, his first major league experience. He will always be able to fall back on that. I belong, as opposed to maybe starting off the way that Alex Bregman started off his career with a long slump, you know? That's a lot harder to shake out of than to come out and to make plays in the field and to get a couple of home runs already. So that's great for him. The big slump is coming. You have to expect it. He is not a superhuman. He is a rookie baseball player. But, man, I can't believe what we've been getting out of him thus far. And thank goodness they've been getting it out of him because this Astros offense has not been good enough to open the year.
Time will tell. I certainly like what we've seen from Jeremy Peña. thus far. All right, you can catch Paul and I, of course, every day, Monday through Friday, on ESPN 97.5 from 10 to 12. You can watch us on Twitch, stream us on the ESPN app, 97.5 and 92.5. Have a great day, guys.